Welcome to Gold Proving Grounds Guide for DPS with an Assassination Rogue. These are the talents that I recommend using. Anticipation is technically the better talent for outright DPS. I have a personal love for Shuriken Tossed, however, which is why I'm running it. Glyphs are not incredibly important, especially for Assassination Rogues, but these are the ones that I use. And the equipment that I use has a heavy focus into mastery. Now, rogues, assassination rogues especially, are all about spreading around the dots. Poisoning the target, charging up your combo points, and putting rupture on it. And for the most part, that's really all you actually have to do. Once you get your bleeds on it and your poison on the target, it's pretty much going to die. There's not really much else you have to do. And as you see in this first wave, there's just an Amber Weaver and a couple Sarok, bleed them all, poison them all, and they'll die. Now this second wave will have the first of a new type of ad that you've got to deal with. And that's the Illusionary Banana Tosser. Now this ad runs around the corner of the room, throwing bananas everywhere. If you get hit by one of these bananas, then you get your chance to hit drastically reduced for the next few seconds. This, of course, absolutely destroys your DPS, so you have to do one of two ways to handle it. One, either sit on top of the monkey in this little circle that you can see around him, and he will not hit you with the bananas as long as you're in that circle. If you cannot do that, however, for example, like in this wave where you have to burn down this healer, instead, you have to run in circles, dodging the bananas. As you can see, the bananas are thrown in your general direction, but they don't directly hit you, so you just have to keep running in circles to dodge it. As you can see, the monkey pretty much died already, and that's why I love Shuriken Toss, because you can just throw a couple times and hit him, and he goes down. And of course, hitting things with the Amber makes things so much easier. And again, really you don't have to worry too much about interrupting the first heal when it goes off, because most of your damage is, of course, a bleed effect. You're not actually doing it most of it outright. So as you see, it's more important to make sure you apply your dots to the target. As you can see, he's still 70% dead or so, with only about 20% of his life left, even with the heal going off. So prioritize getting your bleeds on and your poison on that monkey, then swap to the healer. At least in these first few waves. Alright, this wave has another new ad that you've got to deal with, the Illusionary Banshee. Now, the Illusionary Banshee doesn't really do anything itself, but it has a small timer over its head. And if you don't kill it before that timer wears off, then you will instantly lose the wave. Doesn't matter how much time you have left over here, if that timer goes off, which is about 8 to 10 seconds, I believe, then you will instantly lose. So anytime a Banshee spawns, immediately swap to it. Doesn't matter if you're working on a healer, a monkey. Make sure you swap to that Banshee the instant it spawns. As for the rest of this wave, you simply dot everything up and watch it die. As you can see, in this wave you have to deal with two healers. If you burn the healers by themselves individually at the start, then they'll just spam heals on each other, and you probably won't be able to finish them off easily. So instead, what I always do is I just DPS the little vermin in the middle just a little bit at first. Not a lot, just a little bit. And that way, it forces the healer to try to heal one of them. And because they have so few HP, it really doesn't matter. Your dots or your bleeds or your poisons or whatever you have put on them will pretty much finish them off automatically. So once they waste their first heals, you can just focus on burning down the healers. Likewise in this one, here's a monkey, and Gotta burn down that Banshee. Burn that guy down. Go ahead and apply that bleed to that guy. Finish him off. Finish him off. And finish him off. And another Banshee spawns. And we finish this off. As you can see, pretty much all you do, spread around those bleeds. It's really important not to just sit on one target and burn it down until it's dead. Make sure you spread that damage around, because most of your damage is done in that damage over time effect, which only takes a few seconds to actually charge up. As you can see, all I did was one mutilate and a rupture, and that target's going to be dead. Now in this wave, starting in wave 8, we've got to start dealing with another new ad, and that's the large illusionary Shah. Now the Shah doesn't really do anything other than sit in the middle of the room for the most part, but he has a shield on himself, which reduces the damage he takes by a fairly large amount. So unfortunately, you can't really burn him down the instant he spawns. You have to wait for this shield to time out, and then burn him down. Now as you can see, I simply waited until I basically didn't unload any of my damage on him until that shield fell off. I just set up my damage, made sure my poison was on him, made sure I had combo points, and was essentially just prepared to blow all my abilities once he becomes vulnerable. He increases the damage he takes by 300% when he becomes vulnerable. And as you can see, I'm just using the same old tricks, causing him to burn his stuff on the monkey. And that should be good for the monkey. There'll be a Banshee probably spawning here. Yep, there it is. Always keep your eyes out for those Banshees. They like to spawn when you least expect it. Now, throughout the waves, these berserking buffs will be popping up, and you'll want to save these for these waves, the last few. Wave 9 and Wave 10. It really just helps out in burning down the Shah. And as you can see, you burned it down with plenty of time to spare. Spread around the bleeds, and you win. Almost with too much time to spare. I don't have anything left to talk about. Alrighty, here's the final wave. There's this fairly pointless Sarok here that really doesn't do anything other than give you something to do for a little while. That should be enough to kill him. And after that, we just kind of have to sit here and wait for this large illusionary Shah to become vulnerable, and then we'll burn him down. There probably is a Banshee spawning right before he becomes vulnerable, would be my assumption. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and just stab it a little. Activate sprint, pick that up. And go ahead and delete him. I'll go ahead and blow Vendetta. And here's the Envenom. And down he goes. That'll be enough to finish him off. Another Banshee spawns, you kill it, and success. Again, with rogues, simply remember not to focus each target individually too much. Spread those poisons and spread those bleeds. I hope this guide helps, and thanks for watching.